Hi, welcome to your video for how do I check for comments and feedback. This information is also covered in your welcome lesson. It's covered via screenshots, so if you want to actually see how to click and manipulate and maneuver to get to your feedback, see it in video, then this is for you. If you do better, just show me some pictures and let me figure it out. Then I would recommend checking out your welcome lesson. So again, we're going to look at how to read comments, how to check for feedback. So we're going to start off, there's a few ways actually to do this. So we're going to start off by accessing it from the My Grades, from your grade book. So we're going to, in this left-hand navigation panel, we're going to go to My Grades. My Grades is your grade book in Blackboard for eSchool. So we're going to click on that, and your grades show up. And we'll have a whole nother lesson on how to understand the grade book. So I'm not going to get into everything that's on there. We're going to focus on feedback. So you notice some of the grades on here have a little conversation bubble by them. That means that there has been a comment or feedback left. So one way to access or to view that feedback is to go over to that conversation bubble. If you let your mouse just hover on it, it says view feedback. So I'm just going to click on the conversation bubble, and there is the feedback. So this right here, 1.1 prueba, that's a quiz over the ABCs, the abecedario. And for the sake of this, the student has asked, why am I missing number 1 and number 3? Can I get some help? So I went back and left some feedback on there. And so again, one way you can check for your feedback is just to look for that conversation bubble in your grade book. Ideally, you would look and say, oh, okay, that's what I did wrong. Now I know what to do when I retake this quiz. Close it out. Let's scroll down a tad. All right, this looks like it is a project. So this is a Dropbox. It's something that you've worked on. You're turning it in to be manually graded. The bubble shows that I've left a comment. So let's click on it and see what it says. All right, so here's the feedback I left. Great job, love the graphics. And then just some recommendations. The text color was a little hard to read, so that kind of explains maybe perhaps why it's not, since I did a great job, maybe why I didn't quite get the full 100. Some of the things were hard to read. So this is a quick and easy way to view the feedback. Let's scroll down. Oh, here's some more here. Let's see what this says. Let's click on the bubble. And this feedback says, I left some comments directly on your submission. Well, shoot, I can't see what my feedback is from the conversation bubble. So one way I can find out what these comments are, to find out why I have an 82, is I can go over here to the project title, and I'm just going to click on it. And it brings up the actual project or the Dropbox where I turned it in. So the comment says I left comments directly on your submission. So what we have here are little comment bubbles, as you can see here in the blue. So if you ever see anything saying I left comments directly on your submission, you're going to have to open up that assignment. And the easiest way is just to click on it from the grade book. I'll show you another way to do it from the lesson section. And then from there, you can click on the the comment squares there and see what my comments are, my feedback. Remember, in eSchool, we focus on mastery. We really want you to do your best and to keep trying. If you don't do great on the first try, keep trying again, keep practicing until you really truly get it. So if I leave you feedback and it's something you understand and you can fix easily, I strongly encourage you to look at my feedback, take it into consideration. Feel free to ask me questions if you still don't understand, because sometimes it makes sense in my head, but it still might not make sense to you. And then, fix what needs to be fixed and turn it back in. I really want you to learn. I really wanted you to retain the knowledge, not just memorize it briefly, take a quiz over it, and then move on and forget what you've learned. So I do try to leave feedback on how to help and improve yourself. So here I left some comments about, don't forget you need to use the day between the day and the month to provide separation. So you don't say 15 septiembre, you would say 15 de septiembre. So I just have some other little comment boxes here. You would just click on them, kind of explaining where you went wrong on that particular item. To get out of that, you would go over here and click OK. So that's one way to check feedback. Another way you can check feedback, and this is also really helpful too, if you've checked the feedback and then you want to go back and retake something. So to do that, you would go to Lessons, click on your Lessons tab, and as you know, your lessons come up. Let's go to the 1.1 quiz. I'll have some feedback on that quiz. So let's say you want to retake your 1.1 quiz. You looked at the feedback. You're like, okay, I got it. I'm going to rock this quiz out on my second attempt. So to do that, you go back into the quiz. You click on it. Don't freak out. Click Begin. Now from here you have some options. It's telling you that you've already done one of your attempts. So you have a choice. Do you want to say forget it, I'm done, and go back, like I'm good with my grade, whatever I got, I want to go back to the lessons? Do you want to view all of your attempts, or do you want to start a brand new attempt? For the sake of checking feedback, we're going to click on View All Attempts. So if you can't remember, let's say number 1 had feedback on it, but you can't really remember what number 1 said, you might want to go back and actually view the attempt to figure out what 1 was referring to. So all of the attempts you have will come up. You want to click on the grade for one of the attempts, and that's going to bring up that quiz. So you see up here where it has all your information, it says comments number 1. The word you are hearing is chalupa. You got number 1 wrong. You asked for help with that, and so I'm letting you know that the word you're hearing is chalupa. So hopefully that can help you distinguish what sound that you're hearing at the beginning of the word, because this is over the alphabet and the sounds. So that's another way to check for feedback. It's a little more clicks involved than just going to it from the My Grades link, but this way is also really helpful if you want to actually see the question as well, because my feedback just said number 1, the word you're hearing is chalupa. You might have forgotten what number 1 was even all about. So if you want to, again, on a quiz, see your feedback in conjunction with the actual quiz, you would go in through the lessons, click on the grade, or click Begin, then View All Attempts, the grade, and then it comes up. You can also do it this way from the grade book as well. It just bypasses the need to click on Lessons and then Begin. If you click on it from the grade book, you click on the title of the quiz, and then it'll bring up the screen before this where it has your attempts with the grade. You click on the grade, and then it brings up your quiz, and you can take a look and see how you did. You notice if you want to look and see how you did on your quizzes, it gives you what you selected and then the possible answers. I do get some complaints that I don't have the correct answer on there, and I do that for a reason. The main reason is you get multiple attempts. So if I just tell you what the correct answer is, I don't want you just to go back and put in the correct answer on your second attempt. I want you to actually understand why you're doing it wrong, figure out what the right answer is without it just being given to you. On some other quizzes, it might be you need to go back into the lesson and review it a little better. If it just tells you the correct answer, it's highly likely that you'll retake the quiz, plug in the right answer, and you may never actually truly understand why it is that answer. I want you to understand. I want you to ask questions. I want to help you. So that's why I just don't give you the correct answer. So that's one way to do it. I'm going to click OK. And I'm going to click OK again. So if you wanted to retake this quiz, then you would go into your quiz right here. You would click Begin, and then you would do Start New Submission. And then that would get you going again for your second attempt. Now that you understand where you've gone wrong, you're going to go back and give it a second try. So that is how you check for feedback. And let's see here. I'm going to click back to class. And I'm going to show you also from the Lessons tab. I'm now in the Lessons. If you wanted to look at your feedback, not just in that comment bubble from the gradebook, but actually from the lessons, I'll show you how to do it on your on the drop boxes. You click into the drop box. It comes up what you've already submitted, and you see over here where it says feedback to learner. You can read your feedback that way also. If here you read my feedback, you see what I suggested, and you think, okay, I want to fix those color choices, make sure that it's easier to read, resubmit it for a better grade, you're more than welcome to. You would just click that Start New right there, and then you'd be able to start a new submission. So that is your How Do I Check for Feedback mini lesson. If this still isn't clear, send me a message and I will gladly walk you through it. Thanks, and have a great day.